Today I'm talking rice. Many of you have asked me, hey, what's healthier? Is brown rice really healthier, or could I just be eating white? Most people actually prefer the taste of white rice, but consider brown rice healthy. It's a healthier option. But how much of that is really true, and how much of it is marketing or even myth? Should you feel less healthy, or even some people feel guilty when they're eating white rice over brown rice? I'm also going to give you two alternative options to rice in general. Should you feel like at the end of this video, like, hey, you know what? Neither are right for me. Like anything, there's pros and cons. If you like these videos, remember, like and subscribe. So both types of rice come from the same plant. Brown rice is the whole grain, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm, while the white rice is only the endosperm. Let's look at this diagram, it'll make much more sense. If you look here, the whole grain, you can see on the left, the bran, the endosperm, and the germ, whereas the refined or white rice just contains that endosperm. Now the endosperm is starchy, carbohydrate, and it has some proteins and vitamins. However, look on the left. If you look at the germ, it's packed with B vitamins, vitamin E, phytochemicals, and healthy fats. And of course, with the bran, you're getting more fiber. It's not quite that simple, so let's dive in. First, the pros of brown rice. The first pro is that the nutrition is stored in the germ. If you've seen my video on fruit, you know that the skin of a fruit is almost always what contains the nutrients. Rice is no different. For this reason, brown rice has more of every vitamin and more fiber than its counterpart, white rice. This isn't quite as simple as it seems though, because brown rice also contains an anti-nutrient called phytic acid, which makes it harder to digest. And you know, if you eat brown rice, sometimes you just get that fuller feeling, and maybe it's a little more difficult on the digestive system. Many of you will know this. There is good news though. You can mitigate this by soaking the rice before cooking it, and that will greatly reduce the phytic acid component and content of it. About a half hour, but some people like 4 hours. Of course, it cooks much quicker then. If you soak it in water for a period of time and you cook it, you need less time. But with the steamers everyone's using, it's usually not that big of an issue because they get to pretty high temperatures. The second reason you should be eating the brown rice over the white is because of blood sugar. Brown rice and other whole grains have been shown to decrease your risk of type 2 diabetes by 29%. That's significant. That's because white rice is digested much more quickly than the brown rice, and you get that hit of sugar much more quickly. The problem here is if you really want to reduce your sugar level, neither is a good choice because both are high in carb content. So many people are on a keto diet, so many people are avoiding carbs. Blood sugar and insulin resistance is a big problem in our society, something called metabolic syndrome as well. The third reason to switch to brown rice is its weight control ability. Increasing whole grain consumption has definitely been found to reduce body mass index and waist circumference. It's one of the confounding variables in the studies that looked at problems with saturated fat versus unsaturated, and people who take more whole grains were overall thinner. In fact, another study put brown and white rice head to head and found that participants assigned to eat the brown rice had decreased BMI and waist size compared to those who ate the white rice. In fact, here's a meta-analysis from 2021 that's worth reading. I'll put it here and I'll put it in the links below. So let's look at the results. The results of the present study indicate that brown rice has anti-obesity effects in comparison to white rice. However, it has no beneficial effects on lipid profile, which is most people think of cholesterol, and glycemic markers. Glycemic refers to sugar, hemoglobin A1C or your sugars. Contrary to brown rice, it was shown that pre-germinated brown rice significantly decreases body weight and improves lipid profile and FBG, fasting blood glucose levels, compared to white rice. Accordingly, our results indicate that pre-germinated brown rice has better functional effects on promoting lipid profile and fasting blood glucose compared to brown rice. In case you're wondering, pre-germinated brown rice is made by soaking it. Just put the water over the rice for 8 to 20 hours or so at about 30 to 40 degrees centigrade. You just cover it and leave it out at that temperature, and that's considered pre-germinated brown rice. There are several ways, but that's one. Now, importantly, you want to know the cons of brown rice, and should you just stop using rice altogether? But these are important. The main downside is the increased risk of arsenic. Now, you all know when you hear that word, you shudder and you're like, arsenic in my rice? Yes, both types of rice are known to have arsenic, a toxic metal that is associated with multiple types of cancer. Now keep in mind, arsenic is naturally occurring, but it has been increasing over time in both types of rice due to pollution. So trying to find a high quality rice may be worth your while. To reduce the arsenic content, I suggest soaking your rice before cooking it again, just like prior. It will cook quicker, but also reduce some of the arsenic compound, and you can digest it easier. So try that. So what do I do? How do I handle this issue? Overall, brown rice is a more nutritious option. But if you eat rice regularly, you may need to be cautious of your arsenic intake. One thing you can consider is the alternatives to brown rice. Wild rice is one of them. It's a very common alternative, and it contains more protein and fewer calories than brown rice, but it is more expensive. So when people are shopping, they tend to avoid it because of the cost, and many people don't like the taste. It still does have that arsenic issue, but often you need to eat less of it. So there's a trade-off there. Wild rice also has all 9 essential amino acids, which is what we need during muscle building, for regulating metabolism, and for our immune system. One caveat here, if you're on a meat-free diet, brown rice has more B vitamins. So you may want to alternate wild rice along with brown rice just to make sure you're getting enough of those. Another option, quinoa. It's a great option because it's complete proteins which are readily utilized by the body when compared to brown rice. When pitted against rice, quinoa wins the title of healthiest whole grain thanks to its protein, its fiber, and its amino acid content. Quinoa is higher in calories, however, but both quinoa and brown rice are excellent sources of many of the vitamins and minerals we need in a healthy diet. So it has more calories, you'll see it commonly used, but it's filling. It seems to me it's a little more filling, so people do eat less of it. In general, the body benefits from having a varied diet. So I would suggest trying to incorporate a variety of grains into it and not necessarily stick to just one type of grain. We know people who eat grains have less incidence of cardiovascular or heart disease. They tend to be thinner. These things tend to be more filling. But if you're always eating brown rice or rice in general, mix it up. I think that's one of the themes of this video. What do you think? Let me know what you do. What are your thoughts? What are you buying? What do you like to eat? Like this video, I have a whole playlist on supplements up here that you might be interested in. And like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one to keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.